profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? This is what Marvin's father told him when his son asked him what he thought of his success. It's hard to listen to music today without hearing the influence Marvin Gaye had on music. He was a very successful singer and songwriter. Today I will inform you about some of the life and death events of Marvin Gaye. My name is Billy Fisher, and I love music and history and have been listening to the soulful music of Marvin Gaye since I was young. Tonight I will be discussing the turbulent life and death of Marvin Gaye. Let's start at the beginning of Marvin's life. Marvin Sr. moved to Washington, D.C. as a House of God preacher in 1934. He met Alberta Cooper, who had been shipped north to avoid scandal when she became pregnant and unmarried. He married her in 1935, but refused to raise her love child. Together they had 4 children. Marvin Jr. was born April 1st, 1939. They lived in subsidized housing, living off the money that his mother made as a maid. Marvin Sr. drank regularly and was a cross-dresser who regularly beat his children. Now that we know the beginnings of Marvin's life, let's discuss his younger preteen years. Marvin's mother said his father never wanted him and didn't think he was his child. For this, he beat him regularly. As a preteen, he played the piano. He was a natural musician. He never learned to read music, but could play any song by tune, any tune by ear. After a brief stint in the Air Force, he began performing with his high school friends. This led to many opportunities. At one show, he caught the eye of a famed musician, Bo Diddley. He then left D.C. for Chicago and sang backup for Etta James and Chuck Berry. In 1960, he went to Detroit and met Berry Gordy. Berry's sister, Anna Gordy, fell in love with Marvin. They married in 1961. Marvin's first Motown LP was a flop. However, in 1964, he had a 6-year stretch that kept him on the top of the radio playlist. In 1967, he teamed up with Tammy Terrell. Together, they had several hits. In 1970, he went to work on an LP whose topics include war, racism, poverty, and social corruptions. Motown released What's Going On in 1971. He was at the top of the musical world, but that was not high enough for him. His ego swelled, and he used drugs regularly. Even though his musical persona was that of an ultimate lover, his real love life was a wreck. His marriage to Anna included physical violence. They split frequently and both had many lovers during their decade together. While recording his hit Let's Get It On, he met a teenager named Janice Hunter. She became pregnant with his child while he was still married. Anna and Marvin divorced in 1977, and he married Janice, who was 17 years his junior. His behavior became erratic, and his drug use increased. He used so much cocaine that he was running out of money. After his sexual healing tour, he went home to his parents' house to recuperate. After an evening of arguing with his wife, Marvin Sr. awoke on April 1st, 1984, still angry. He was yelling for his wife when Marvin got in the middle. He pushed his father down and kicked him several times. Marvin's father got up without saying a word and went downstairs. He came back moments later with a gun and pointed at Marvin. Ironically, this was a gun that Marvin Jr. had given him for Christmas the year before. He pointed the gun at Marvin and shot him in the chest. The bullet tore through his heart. At 1:01 p.m., he was pronounced dead. According to the website TrueTV.com, when asked if he loved his son, Marvin Sr. said, "Let's just say I didn't dislike him." Marvin Sr. was ordered to 6 years of a suspended sentence and 5 years probation. His mother, who divorced his father after 49 years of marriage, died of bone cancer in 1987. In conclusion, Marvin's life ended just as sad as he seemed to be when he was alive. He died broke and unhappy. He also died with no will, so his estate was of no benefit to his children. Throughout his career, he wrote and recorded more than 200 songs. 66 of them were Billboard hits. In 1987, he was elected into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.